Welcome to our program, Women Who Dared. This program is initiated by the Gender Unit of the Department of Social Services here on Nevis. I am Oslyn Griffin Kelly, your host. Women Who Dared will be a series of programs which will seek to highlight and celebrate the brave actions and bold choices of everyday female on Nevis. In every career area throughout most parts of the world, we find women who, in some cases, dared to challenge the status quo and change the landscape of society, and have positioned themselves in halls of power, boardrooms, and heading significant departments and institutions. Some of these women juggle between career and homemaking. On the other hand, there are many outstanding women who have also made conscious decisions to shun a traditional career and choose homemaking and child rearing as a full-time occupation. These women are heroes indeed. The contribution of these daring women cannot be overlooked or underestimated. March 8th is being celebrated worldwide as International Women's Day. On this debut program, I would like to bring to the limelight 5 humble but remarkable homemakers who have conquered the odds and produced children who our youngsters, especially boys, can look up to and gain some positive direction. From the St. George's Parish, we remember with love and highlight with praise the late Mary Rollins, a devoted mother who successfully raised 9 sons. Godwin Rollins, military personnel. Sidney Rollins, military personnel and bus driver in the U.S. Jimmy Rollins, construction worker. Alistair Rollins, Anglican priest. Tony Rollins, construction worker in Dallas, Texas. Edison Rollins, former police officer. Glenn Rollins, auto mechanic. Jerome Rollins, vice president, Cable and Wireless Nevis. Cardell Ball Rollins, medical doctor here on Nevis. In the St. James Parish, we highlight with praise Mrs. Violet Perkins, who successfully raised 9 children, 7 sons and 2 daughters. William Perkins, a.k.a. Bully, bus driver, Ministry Health Nevis. Wingrove Perkins, a.k.a. Surpriser, mechanic. Wilson Perkins, construction worker. Wilbert Perkins, a.k.a. Don, a potter and a worker at Nisbet Plantation. Wayne Perkins, a.k.a. Chet, chef at Nisbet Plantation. Winston Perkins, worker at Four Seasons Resort. Vincent Perkins, worker at Four Seasons. Sandra Perkins, cashier at Evelyn's Drugstore. Leah Perkins, airline attendant at TDC Airlines. From the St. Thomas's Parish, we praise Rosalie Martin, a mother of 12 children and 2 adopted children, 9 sons numbered among the children. Miss Martin, we praise you. Edmund Martin, pastor, United Methodist Church, New Jersey. Ira Martin, electrician and businessman, St. Thomas's in St. Thomas. Henry Martin, businessman in St. Thomas. Viola Martin, retired nurse in St. Thomas. Agnola Martin, pastor, Deeper Life Christian Ministry in St. Thomas. Ruth Martin, clerk at A.L. Evelyn's Limited. Naomi Douglas, proprietor, Naomi's Daycare and Preschool. Victor J. Martin, lawyer in the USA. Oral Martin, lawyer. Anthony Martin, former cricketer and businessman. Everett Martin, manager of Bank of Nevis. Michael Martin, doctor in Trinidad. And 2 adopted children, Eustace Johnson and Carrie Johnson. From the St. Paul's Parish, we have Miss Gurley Liburd, who's presently in Canada, but has contributed 12 children to our society, 12 prominent children, and today we praise her. 9 sons and 3 daughters. Veronica, retired nurse. Lynette, retired banker. Wingrove, retired upholster. Clayton, seaman and farmer. Alistair, construction worker. Juliet, accountant. Jura, nurse. Kenneth, businessman. Nigel, upholster. Michelle, accountant and businesswoman. Jean, businessman. Sean, accountant and businessman. From the St. John's Parish, we have Mrs. Lucy Liburd, who successfully raised 4 children of her own and 1 adopted. Mrs. Liburd became a widow at a very early age. Mrs. Liburd, we praise you. Mrs. Liburd is the mother of Emil Liburd, a.k.a. Striker, businessman and mechanic. Glenville Liburd, medical doctor here on Nevis. Tresetta Liburd, manager SNCC Insurance here on Nevis. Patrick Liburd, businessman in the USA. Vanessa Mason, adopted daughter, a social worker. All these women have contributed to our country in the form of successfully raising children, outstanding children. And today we praise all of these ladies, wish them happiness. And for those who are single mother, we say, may God continue to bless. And for the one who was deceased, we beg the Lord to continue to hover around her children. Without a doubt, women are a vital support system for the family and one of the cornerstones of a thriving society. Once the playing field is leveled, women can play a vital role in the positive movement of society. In quoting President Obama, I say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. On behalf of the Department of Social Services and the Ministry of Social Transformation, I wish all women here on Nevis a happy International Women's Day, and women throughout the world, I also wish them a happy International Women's Day. May God bless women everywhere. Thank you. Today on our program, Women Who Dared, we will feature as special guest Mrs. Lorraine Henry-Browne from the St. James Parish, who is numbered among the stalwart women of Nevis In our interview, we will understand why. Mrs. Browne, welcome to our initial program. What career did you pursue?
I pursued teaching, but I had an option to choose between teaching and being a nurse because I got the two letters at the same time. But for the love of children, I preferred teaching, so I ended up being a full-time teacher.
Yes, Mrs. Browne, I can dare say you were a brilliant teacher and very enthusiastic with the kindergarten class. I could testify to that because I was one of your students. How long did you teach, Mrs. Browne?
I taught for 40 years at the Combermere School and at the Whitehall School, as it was then known.
40 years is a long time. Mrs. Browne, during the time you taught, did you do any other task to supplement your income as a teacher?
I did a lot of tasks. I am the seamstress, the baker, the farmer, and everything in one.
So you said you were seamstress, baker, farmer. Now, how did you manage to do all this while having a full-time career as a teacher?
Well, you have to do a lot of planning to get your work done. So, from the time I got married or even before, I used to time myself doing chores so that I could finish on time to get to my job. 2:30 at mornings, I was up. And Franklin and I, that's my husband, we had cows around and one pig. So we used to go up on the estate, Camp Estate, and milk the cow. Then after we finished milking the cow, we would go down the riverside because that time it was Camp's River and it was flowing like any other river. But it doesn't function anymore because the water was harnessed when they put down the pump at the springs. So people nowadays wouldn't know anything about that Camp River because only when the rain falls in plenty, it would run down. So we used to go down to the gut to pick hog meat for the pig. Then when I got back home, I started preparing breakfast and lunch. And when I say lunch, I mean a hot lunch. My children took lunch to school every day. Hot lunch. I used to have a food carrier for them, and later on I had flasks for them. And with all that, I still used to do washing, not so much cleaning because the children were detailed their little chores before they go to school. And I did that on a regular basis. Not that I get up 2:30 today and tomorrow I get up 5. It was very consistent. And that is how I managed to have a full-time job and still do these extra chores in and around the house.
Yes, Miss Browne, you spoke of children. How many children did you have?
Actually, I gave birth to 11 children, but my first son, Trevor, he died at the age of 5 months. So I have 10 children now living, 6 boys, 6 girls and 4 boys.
I also saw other children living in your house. Could you tell us about these other children who lived in your house, who were not your birth children?
It would be like 10 more children.